What up, everybody? Welcome to the Damn Dude Podcast.
Damn, dude.
Where we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
No, welcome, everybody. I'm your host, California Cal, and appreciate you guys tuning in. This is episode 25 of the Damn Dude Podcast.
Damn, dude.
And, man, today we're going to be talking about idols and heroes and like shit like that. Like, not in some boring ass way, like, oh, my hero is, but I mean like some cool shit. And I realized, man, there's a few things going on. So currently I've been starting teaching some kids again, and it's been absolutely incredible, dude.
Damn, dude.
Cause like I forgot how good I am at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's anything that I'm a master at, is teaching babies. And when it comes to teaching these kids, like, I'm really, really with the shit. And I'm like, dude, I forgot how fun this is. I forgot how good I am at this. And I'm just like, wow, this is such a blessing to be able to work with kids in the water, like to any degree, whether I'm getting paid or not or whatever. Like a lot of things, it's like I already got paid a long time ago through gift certificates or something, and then now it's like they're cashing in from, so it's not any active money or like current work, but like I don't know. Well, there's some, but anyway, my whole point is like, dude, I fucking forgot how sick this is, and this is like super duper what I'm meant to do. Man, I'm like breathing all fat guy breathing today. I think I ate and drank too much, and yeah. And anyway. So dude, I'm like, fuck, I forgot how fun this is. And the reason I keep emphasizing that so much is because I've had all my attention into my podcast. And I realize when I'm not working with the kids and I'm not working in the water, like my brain and my I don't even know, like my work ethic and my overall like fulfillment of life and happiness and true inner joy is heightened when I'm working with kids, and it's lessened when I'm not. Now, not like, oh, working with kids is like a crutch, but it's like, it's just an enhancement, It's really like such a cool thing to my life because I get to teach them like life-saving skills, Excuse me. And it's fun as fuck too, and it's like it gives the parents something. Oh, excuse me. It gives their parents something to be proud of. When your kid's just a like baby. So I think that's really cool, and especially like remembering what it's like to be so scared of the water, like fuck. So, it's crazy. So I've been relating to my whole swim business like it's not fun. I realized that.
Damn, dude.
Because, and I mean, just lately, and over this last year, really, like, with the whole shutdowns and all that stuff, that really was like, well, fuck, now I just, like, can't, it's like, I can't really do this. There's a couple people who wanted some lessons still and whatever, but at a certain point, I'm like, okay, legally, I can't go cross those lines with, it's just not smart to do being in business. So, I did what I could do and whatever. But my point is that I'm like, dude, I was relating to it as not fun because my podcast was all new and shiny and it's growing fast. And, and it's like when it was like that for me before with teaching swim or with my company, Fins to Swim. And it was like that was new and shiny, and I was like really like, oh, the numbers, this and that, and I was just all about it. And like now I'm kind of like, yeah, numbers are exciting, but it's just not the same thing, And then so I feel like I kind of lost a little love for it, or just like, I don't know, it's like we were at different stages in our lives. That's what I felt like it was like, And if I think about it, I was supposed to be living in Nicaragua, actually. Like, I guess I would have like just been moving back or just moved back, actually. So that's a trip. If you listen back to, I want to say the first episode, I talked about that. Um, moving to Nicaragua, like that shit. Yeah, we were trying to do that and it just didn't work out. Ended up splitting up with my ex and whole thing. So anyway, I started relating to my whole swim business as like this isn't as fun, and I don't know if this is what I love to do anymore, and da da da. And I realized it's just the scheduling and the responding to like texts and emails and calls. Even though the people that I'm like replying to are cool people and come from trusted and come from and are they're referred from cool people and trusted people. And I love talking to them. When I talk to them, it's just like knowing I have to, and that like there's some mental block that I have when it comes to that, and I'm like, fuck, I don't. It's just emails themselves, texts themselves, how whatever shape it's in. I'm just kind of like, I don't like, it's like it's just so hard for me, and I do my best, but like, fuck, dude, it gets hard, So like within this whole podcast, even we are on the 25th. Will be 3 months into this, and today is the 12th, something like I don't know. Anyway, we're almost at 3 months. On the 25th will be 3 months. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We broke over 1,000 downloads, and that number is just creeping higher and higher and higher. And I want to say it's like I forget at the moment. It's like, oops. Oh yeah, 1,021. So, and we're at 24 episodes published. So not bad. We're doing good. That's all organic reach. Which I'm pretty impressed with because that's yeah, man. But it feels good, especially when I use my host site Buzzsprout. They have like rewards and stuff as you go through, and as you reach a certain amount of followers or shows published or whatever, it shows you all the locations and all the even what types of apps and devices people are listening from, whether it's iPhone or cell phone or tablet or computer or laptop or other or whatever. It shows what countries, what cities everybody's listening from. Um, I wish there was somehow a way for me to be able to like directly reply or respond to the people who download. That'd be cool. Maybe that's a thing in the future. I mean, we kind of have access to doing that on Instagram, but like, excuse me, as far as just the, I don't know, the host page, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, so the way I look at it is I'm like, yo, I'm committed to this enough to, or sorry, not enough. I'm committed to this for for a minimum of 10 years. So as far as talking on camera, talking on the microphone, having a show, having a podcast, whatever, because I can easily see this evolving from a podcast into something else or something, I don't know. I keep saying I don't know a lot. Why do I keep doing that? No, so like I said, I'm at least committed 10 years to this. And within that 10-year commitment, we're 3 months in. And I'm like, dude, this is pretty exciting. So as that's going on, it's like such a big, shiny new thing to me that I'm like, put swim business kind of gets put on the back burner. And with the whole Corona shit, like having my own show where I'm by myself talking, whatever, it was just in alignment with that, with being at home and lockdowns and all that shit. So, so I freaking, swimming was just like, it just wasn't as cool. But as I hopped in the water, as I freaking start, like just talking to people and whatever and doing my thing, I'm like, holy shit.
Damn, dude.
Like, I'm fucking good at this and I love to do this. Wow. And I'm just like, dang, I really, 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 really do love this. So it's just crazy, dude. Like, I've been teaching swimming for 11 years. This, in October, will be 11, like, whole official years I've been doing it by myself. And it's really cool because, it's like, dude, okay, so having done nearly 11 years of my own business and my own thing and doing something that's a contribution to the world and that's a contribution to the people and the community and society, because it is that, I'm like, yo, I love this. And I see this podcast as the same thing. Where it's like it's a community, it's a communal access to hmm it's it's access to a safe place and a safe way of communicating and thinking that's just out in the community that we all have access to.
Damn, dude.
That was pretty tight, actually. But, so that's how I relate to this podcast. And it's like, dude, this is a community thing. Like, yeah, it's for my kids and myself first, but it has to be. And it has to be. If I don't do this for myself, I could not have the longevity at all to even get to this point. Because, I think, like I said before, statistically, it's something like most podcasts won't get past 8 episodes. Or even, I'm sorry, most will get to about 8, but most won't get past 10. And that's crazy, dude, to think about. Like, how are most not getting past 10? But then I also look back, I'm like, okay, that's so easy, because there's so many instances where, like, I felt like shit and I felt like it's not worth it. And I feel like nobody cares. What's the point? I wasted my money. Like, it's so easy for that to overcome. And because I fucking put in 11 years into working by myself, or working for myself, I should say, I know what it's like to, like, be upside down and have nothing, and to just be working for and towards my vision and have nothing substantial show up physically.
Damn, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what that's like already. So I'm like, oh, well, that's just kind of how it goes. Is like, people aren't going to give you your P's till you fucking, till you really start bubbling, and other people have heard of you and shit. So it's really interesting, because it's like, there's a lot of people within, and I hear this other people say this, and I see that it's my experience too, is I have far more support from outside people that I don't know and that I've never met than I do that I know personally. And I say that in, not like people are hating on me or, oh, why don't you do this or that? No, not in that way at all. But, like, literally where the statistics come from are from places where I don't know people. And it's like, I've never met these people before. And, it's like the statistics don't lie. So, well, those kind of statistics where it's actual numbers. It's not just like, well, statistically speaking, 50% of the world doesn't blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't really like those kind of statistics so much. Very rarely will I ever, like, refer to those kind. But what I mean is just like, it's showing the real numbers about it and where shit actually comes from and stuff. So, yeah, it's like, it's a trip, because it's true and it's like that. And I think when you can understand that the people around you, they're either gonna fuck with you super tough, or just kind of like, that's cool, or just like, and those are the most 3 common things that I encounter. People are either ultra stoked, just kind of like, oh, that's cool, or they just like don't. It seems like they don't give a fuck. I mean, I guess you can kind of apply that to anybody, but that's how it seems. As where, in my experience with, like, just general people, the public, when I say, oh, what do you do? It's like, oh, I have a show. Whatever I do this, like, oh, what? No way. And they're acting far more excited than people who are close, and it's like, well, and what I've equated to is, like, oftentimes it's not that the people around you are, like, hating on you or don't believe in you or whatever. It's more just like, well, okay, I've also heard you talk equal amounts of shit and not do anything about it. So cool, but let me see. And it's like, that's why I feel like that's why a lot of people who are close can often be interpreted as like, oh, they don't care, but it's like, nah, they just really want to see you do it. And it's like, well, of course I got your back. Of course I'm gonna be by your side. It's like, like, I don't need to, like, oh, what? Oh, you can do it. What? Like don't rah me up. Like, yeah, give me some support, but, like, I don't know. If you've ever started a business or an idea or something, like, I'm sure you can relate to that. Like, you're gonna experience it one way, shape, or another, and it's almost always the people who you least expect to be like super extra supportive, and also it's almost like people you would expect to be so extra jacked and hyped are just kind of like, okay, or like they're not extra excited about it. And I feel like if you're gonna go start your own thing, you gotta really let that go. Like, we can't really like hold that on to other people. Like, you need to be excited for me and my ideas and whatever. Because not really, they don't. It's like, well, let me see you do it. Because we've all fucking said we're gonna do something and have never done it. We've all fucking claimed this and claimed that. We've all had homies or friends or whatever say they're gonna do this or then they never do it. And it's like, well, let me see. And then I think that's kind of the difference too, is like, when people on the outside, they're just seeing the result of the work, as where people who are close are seeing like the gritty grindiness of the work. So it's like people who are close aren't often viewing you and your new idea as glamorous because it's still in the nitty gritty. And then it's not till it's actually glamorous that those people are like, oh, like, wow, good job, you did it, like, now I get it. So I think that when people from the outside who you don't know and you have no attachment or relation to, and they're just fans or you're fans of theirs or whatever, you just kind of see the glamorousness that person is going for. Like, you see the result of what that person's work was striving for. So, and that's why it's like, I don't know. It's just interesting. um, I was gonna say, so like, dude, it's a trip, man. When it comes to supporting it, when it comes to starting a show or starting an idea, we really have to like be in it for ourselves, for reals, for reals. Because if we're not in this for ourselves, do you know how easy it is to get discouraged? Like, I keep going and saying these statistics because, well, the stat, I should say, that sounds way cooler, because it's just crazy to think to me. Because think about this. My podcast has, hold on. Oops. Oh no, where did I go? Okay, so check this out. Excuse me. The Damn Dude podcast has 1,021 downloads with 24 episodes published. That's 1,021 episodes with 24 episodes published. That puts the Damn Dude podcast in the top 10% of all podcasts in the world, which there are 2,178,920 globally ranked podcasts. And we are in the top 10% with 24 episodes and 1,021 downloads.
Damn, dude.
Like, that's crazy, dude, to really think about it. Like, 24 is not that many, and 1,000 is not that many. It's a lot to, it feels like a lot at times in certain perspectives, but like, overall, dude, out of that out of that many millions, out of almost 2.2 million podcasts, that, how does that equal the top 10%? That's crazy to me. So my point is that when you just have enough consistency, the shit will work out, and you've got to believe in it. Because even though your numbers don't look good, or it's not big, or you see fucking, you hear people that you look up to, or that hitting millions and this and that, it's just like, all right, cool. This is why you need to be happy for them, because you get to learn, you get to celebrate, you get to share that experience, and then you get to learn how to do it yourself. So that's what I'm trying to do. Like, when I see my homies hitting the millions in their downloads and this, I'm just like, hell yeah. Like, I can't even imagine how that feels, but I'm gonna keep grinding until it happens, because it's not gonna not happen. As long as I fucking go 1 through fucking 100 and I'll go and I just keep going and going and going, then it's like it has no choice but to do that. Because whether you like me or not, like this is for somebody, and there's enough people. There's a small enough percentage or there's a large enough percentage of people in the world that will fuck with what I'm saying, and that's totally cool. And this all comes back to like, well, I'm not doing this for other people. I am in a small degree, but really, this is for me and my family first, and I'll always tell you that. So, because of that, it allows me to be in this for the long run. And I can see, and I say that through experience of starting a business and having it stay for the long run so far, long run being close to coming up on 11 years. So, yeah, dude. So that's my commitment to this podcast. And that's why I believe that we're going to make it and it's just going to keep growing. So, like I said, if you're going to start a podcast, hit me up, holler at me, because I can help you out with this. I took a lot of long cuts to get to like, it's like when you're learning, there's just certain things that like imagine learning to drive with no instruction. Like you'll figure it out eventually, right? It's, driving on the freeway, backing in and out of things, pulling in and out, whatever, like all those things. Imagine no instruction ever and you just had to like figure it out. There's going to be a lot more accidents and mistakes before actually figuring it out and not repeating those mistakes. So it's kind of the same thing with this podcast thing for me. Is like, well, I'm just going to fucking go in and like, I realized that I basically learned to drive this podcast with no instructions. So if I can go and be like, well, you know what? Here you go. Here's how you do this. I can save you a lot of time, hours, resources, all of that. It's like, I feel like if you can answer a couple questions, then you can create your own show and you can do this. If you can authentically answer them, I'm not going to dive into like, here, I don't have any course or anything, but I'm just saying like, if you want some help, holler at me. Like I'm down to help, So like I love seeing people come up and like, especially put new ideas into the air and just fucking make it real. Like, yo, fucking, I believe this and I think this could work. And, it's like the more we can support that, the better. That's creativity. That's fun. That's freedom. That's people really doing their thing, So, yeah, like for reals, holler at me if you're trying to start your own show ever. It's a lot of fun. It's also a lot of work. Knowing your why is the most important thing for longevity, I think. So dude, like it's crazy because I look at how I got into swimming and teaching babies and shit, and like, and how I started teaching surfing. And I started teaching surfing because the doctor banned me from surfing after I broke my skull, neck, and back in 8 places. And as soon as I healed up, I bought a surfboard and I went surfing literally every single day for a year. And then I was doing it so much so, and I was just loving what I was doing so intensely that people were like, hey, will you pay me? I'm sorry. They're saying like, hey, I'll pay you to, like, will you teach me? Will you teach me? And then that turned into like, hey, I'll pay you to teach me. I'll pay you to teach me. I'm like, whoa, like I got that kind of credibility now. Like, holy shit, I didn't even realize it. But I'm like, yeah, why? Because I literally went and learned every fucking wrong way to ride a surfboard. I tend to still practice that sometimes, but it is what it is. So it's crazy because that leads me to think like, well, I got into this love of swimming because, just naturally I love to help people. I wanted to be a firefighter and I love the idea of being able to help save lives. And at the same time, I'm like, yo, like I see the way that my mom and my dad influenced me and the way that the rest of my family and life occurred and how it all just kind of was like this whole big buildup of hints and situations occurring in life that all led up to the answer being, yo, you need to teach people in the water. Because for one, it helps me with my skull, with my neck and my back and my whole body. I've broken like 64 bones, maybe more. And being in the water fucking helps, alleviates pain and whatever. So I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. So I really started looking at my influences like, dude, I see my influences are playing the biggest role that I could possibly imagine in my life. And I kind of don't even realize what's going on. So I started picking influences purposefully as soon as I realized this. Crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break right here. And we're going to be right back. 1 second here, guys.
Damn, dude.
Hiya. What is good, everybody? Welcome back.
Damn, dude.
The
Damn, dude.
the
Damn, dude.
Damn Dude podcast. Oh. So, yeah. All right, so appreciate you guys. So we bike like bicycle, and so we're just gonna jump right back in where we left off, which was talking about influences and idols. And it was like I realized that my whole life led up to all my influences, and everything led to me teaching babies to swim in the water. I wanted to be a firefighter, broke my skull, neck, and back, couldn't do that. I'm in pain when I'm on land often, so being in the water, that helped. Being able to teach, babies, save lives, I'm like, cool, perfect. Interestingly enough, I didn't learn to swim till I was like 12 or 13.
Damn, dude.
So it was crazy because I hella remember what it was like being afraid of the water. And I remember I remember going on a boat trip one time to the river with like my dad, the neighbors, and, whoever, some of their homies. And it was like 120 something out. We're on the river and I'm just like sweating. And like, everyone's like, come on, jump in the water. I'm just like, no, like I'm fine. Like my sweat's keeping me cool. And I was just like so hot and dying, but I was just afraid to jump in the water. So I was like, yo, this really gives me a dope insight and a dope window into being able to teach them kids. so, so not only teach your kids, but like being able to teach adults too. And the way that and it's interesting because in school I fucking sucked. I hella sucked in school. Like I was pretty much a straight F student, like majority of the time. So a lot of times what I did in school, and if you listen to like my history, about how when I stopped talking in second grade and all that, like I just spent my time observing people, and I'm observing body language and I'm observing all these things. And like, to me, that's what made sense. Was real life was like people moving and interacting with each other. And it's like, how are they doing this? Why are they doing this? I started realizing that people that walk certain ways would get picked on. I started realizing people that dressed or talked or would say certain things would alienate themselves or get picked on. People who would stand too close to people would get picked on. People who would talk too loud would get picked on. If you stink, you get picked on. If it's like certain things would allow you to get picked on quicker than the next guy. And I picked up on all these things when I was younger. So that kind of like rolled itself into when I work with these babies, I'm looking at breath control, I'm looking at breathing, and I'm looking at body position. And when I have these things, it's like, boom, boom, inhale, boom, reinforce here, exhale, boom, reinforce here, boom, 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 until it equals the skills for the kid or the adult to be able to overcome their fear or to have these life-saving skills. Excuse me. So I look at it, I'm like, okay, like, I realize that I'm observing that, and it's helped me in terms of like not getting beat up and not getting picked on when I got older and all of that, right? So, and it allowed me to like scare people like on an extra level. Like people who came across, like there was a streak of people who fucked with me or were fucking with my friends or whatever, and it was like 5 kids in a row. Like I made them cry and I never even put my hands on them, and it was just like I was that intense and I was that angry and I was that like I understood so well what it took to like really fucking like put fear into somebody or to shake somebody, because I was observing all this body language and phrases and words and little details like shoulder position and where your arms are at and things like that. Like that's what I was looking at when I was younger. Plus I did a lot of kung fu, so like I'm already looking at like body movement a little bit differently, you know? So it's crazy because I realized like, well, damn, like my idols change all the time and my influences. And I'm like, all right, well, like, fuck, who are my idols, you know? So I started looking at it. I'm like, all right, well, my first idols for sure are my dad and mom, like, for sure. Excuse me. Um, like, dude, oh man, it's so crazy. I'm so grateful for them because they both told me in their own ways and also told me pretty much directly, like, dude, like, Cal, like, whatever you love to, like, sorry, let me restart that. Basically saying, like, dude, like, go and do everything that you can do in life and go discover and experience everything and discover what you love. And if you love to do multiple things or a lot of things, then just do all of them and just do that forever.
Damn, dude.
So I was like, yo, that's fucking sick, dude. Like, that's gangster as fuck. I used to be upset because I felt like, dude, like, why can't you just give me direction? You know, I'm not being pushed to be a doctor or lawyer or nurse or this or that, or like, I'm not being pushed to be anything. But then I realized, whoa, this is way doper. I'm just being not even pushed, but I'm just kind of being guided and led to be like, bro, like, do what you love. And, you know, like, holy shit. So, like, it's crazy because both my parents were like very creative people, very good at art, very good at drawing, music, stuff like that. And it's crazy because it's like I kind of learned to like I pick different pieces from him and from them and some whatever, you know, and like I don't know, like my mom has this way of like listening and understanding, and then my dad has this way of just like also listening, understanding in a different way, though in a very, very different way, which is very interesting. But like and very direct. And it's cool. So I kind of learned that I learned kind of both of those things. I'm like, wow, this is cool, you know? And then I look at like I also idolize my grandpa, um, and my uncles growing up too. Like they were like the next circle of influence for me, like immediately at a young age. And I just remember, oh man, my uncles are so cool. It didn't even make sense. Like, no matter what they were doing, whether they were scaring the shit out of me or whatever, like, it was it was cool, man. They were really fucking cool. And I just look at them like, damn, like I just looked at how much respect they had and how much clout they had back in the day, and like, you know, just really like being a like top of the pack in the '90s type shit, or like you know in the '80s and '90s, and they're just like as cool as could possibly be. It didn't even make sense. and and then I look at my grandpa, dude. Like both of my grandparents, like my Norwegian grandpa and my Chinese grandpa, but like uh my Chinese grandpa, dude, he's a G, man. Came to America when he was 13 with hardly any money, didn't even speak English. And, you know, escaped China on a boat to escape war and like oh, it's crazy, dude. And came and became a real estate mogul in the United States. Uh led Elvis in the army. He apparently he funded the guy who started Carnival Cruise's first like 10 G's or something like that. Like just some like crazy shit. He's just got all these crazy Forrest Gump type stories where it's just like, you did what? Like every time I ask him something that like like one of the cousins or uncles or somebody tells me, I'm like, wait, what? Like I go and ask him, and he's like, uh. Oh yeah. I think. Oh yeah. I remember I did that. Whoa, and I was like, what the like? You don't remember giving 10 G's to somebody? Like, bro, like, come on. But it's cool because my cousin said this the other day. My cousin Howie was like, damn, like I always looked up to him too because it's his uncle technically, and my grandpa, and he's just like, dude, like I always saw him like, yo, he never actually really has a job. Like, yeah, he was a chef and stuff, but like he just owns so many properties around San Diego that like he retired hella early. He was young as fuck when he retired. And he's just been kicking it off real estate this whole time. And like kicking it. He can go where he wants, when he wants, however he wants, whatever. Like, you know, he loves where he lives and he just fucking kicks it for the most part. But like you know, like fuck, that's fucking sick. Um so it's crazy. Like I look at that and then like later on in life, like my grandparents, my parents, my uncles. I didn't really kick it with my cousins a lot when I was young, not till I got older. Um, but then and then as I started getting older and TV and music and stuff started coming about, uh, for me, one of my first like famous influences, like majorly, would be for sure Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is without a doubt like one of the dopest. And like
Damn, dude.
dude, nah, Bruce Lee's with the shit, dude. Like it's just so crazy how like with the shit he was. um no, it's crazy, dude. I used to watch Bruce Lee movies on repeat over and over and over and over and over. And it's funny because I remember one time, like Enter the Dragon was always my favorite one. The one with Mr. Han, not the other one. The other one's good, but like the one where he goes through the stages or whatever, and he fights fucking Matumbo and all that stuff. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the other one. Um, that's the best one, dude, with Mr. Roper and all of that. that Oh, that's one of the best movies ever made, dude. I would watch that shit over and over and over and over and over and over. And it's funny because my mom would be like, "Oh, you just want to watch this for the boobs?" And I was like, I mean, like, yeah, I didn't mind the boobs, but like, legitimately, I forgot about the boobs because the movie was so tight.
Damn, dude.
Oh shit. Um, No, really though, like as a kid, I wasn't even like, oh, boobs. I was just like, yo, this movie is so sick. Like to me, it felt like 10 different movies inside the same movie. Like so many different like events happen where it was like so confrontational or whatever, and then like it just yeah, I don't know. It was just like so many different incidents. I'm just like, holy fuck, dude. Like, fuck, if I got in a fight, if like the hype about it lasted quite a while, Bruce Lee sitting there getting in like 400 fights in a day, and he's just kind of like, and then he's ready to go out on a date at the end of the night. Like, what the? I remember I got in a fight at the park, and this full fucking sucker punched me. This big ass essay full. He was like a foot taller than me, and I just got done working out at the gym with my two homies. This fool fucking turns around, full fucking full power swings on me, and like as fast as I can react, I start ducking. He was aiming for like my nose or my jaw or something, and as fast as I can react and start ducking from like a literally just a turnaround sucker punch full force, he catches me in the forehead, and I just and fucking scroll out onto the floor, and I'm just like, or I just sprawled out onto the floor. I almost got knocked out, but as I get up, I shook it off, and I'm like, I get up and I'm just picturing fucking Bruce Lee scenes, and I'm just thinking like that warrior mentality kicked in. I'm thinking of all the kung fu I did when I was a kid, and I get up and this will fucking crack, socks me on in each side of the head on the temple, fucking pretty much as hard as he can again because it's a fully clean shot. And so this fool socks me in the head 3 solid ass times as hard as he can, and I didn't knock out, and that's when that fool got scared. Cause when you punch somebody as hard as you can, and then especially you do it 2 more times, like, and they don't go and they're not done for, like that shit's scary because you know that like they ain't playing around. And for me, like when I get into a fight, I'm like, I'm going to kill you is like my mentality. I'm not like it goes from this isn't a fucking fight. I mean, it's just like you know what I mean? It's like my life is at stake is kind of where I go, and like I enter this calm realm of slow motionness, and it's like I don't get in a lot of fights, but like and I don't plan to ever get any more, but like I just enter this like kind of calm state and everything slows down, and it's trippy because it's like I think back to Bruce Lee, and it's like that would how it occur in some of the movies too. Is like slow down, you got the glow and all that. And then one of my other favorites was Jean Claude Van Damme, and I was watching these movies like so many times, dude. Like, oh my goodness, like Noxu Cow, like just everything, dude. Even Cyborg, Kickboxer, Bloodsport. Oh my goodness, dude. Even the other, I can't even think of the other Van Damme movies at the moment, but I would watch those, and then I would, and then oh, I'd always watch Jackie Chan fucking movies. Those are good too. That's like a different. The old school Jackie Chan movies are completely different than anything that's like 2000 or even like 99 maybe. Any Jackie Chan movie that's like late 90s, like Rumble in the Bronx and all that. Was that late 90s, early thousands? It was either late 90s, early thousands. But those movies are newer to present time versus the ones from then and older, completely different. Because the old ones are like real full on kung fu movies, like excuse me, like where he's doing like the animal style fighting, and he's like drunken monkey, and like it's so sick, dude. That, oh my goodness,
Damn, dude.
you gotta go watch those. Those are sick. Like I'm pretty sure you could even type on YouTube like Jackie Chan drunken monkey. That is fucking sick. Um, dude, but I would just watch so many of those videos and just go back and forth all day long. And then I remember thinking back, it evolved, and then it was the Ultimate Warrior.
Damn, dude.
Oh my goodness, dude. The Ultimate Warrior, there's fucking nothing like him, dude. Like he, for those of you for those of you that don't know, go do some motherfucking homework, because the Ultimate Warrior, bro, the intro music. This fool was the most ultimate hype of all hype that hype could be. This fool is just like, looking back, he was fucking coked the fuck out, and who knows what else he was on too. But this fool, he just comes out running to his music. It's just, he's running full speed, and he's running, shaking his hair. He's got fucking colorful, crazy ass looking face paint, warrior face paint. He's got armbands and fucking like crazy ass underwear with eyes on it, and then he's got fucking like the warrior mask, and then he's got fucking like crazy knee pads and shit, and like sick ass boots, and he's just swole as fuck. And this fool comes out shaking all the ropes. He's just shaking his head, and he's just like, "Ah!" And dude, he's I'm telling you, it's fucking sick. And if you don't know, oh man, maybe I can pull something up here. But if you, like, truly go look up some of the Ultimate Warrior speeches that he would give, um because it was just the most insane, sickest shit ever, like ever, dude. Listen to, woo! Oh, he's just slamming fools. Oh, choke slam, karate chop, off the ropes. Oh, oh, he just grabbed that fool by the chode and fucking threw him. Dude, I'm telling you, there's nobody sicker than the Ultimate Warrior. Excuse me. I've been wanting to get an Ultimate Warrior tattoo actually for like hella long. Rest in peace, the Ultimate Warrior. It was my absolute favorite ever, dude. Like, oh man, that shit gets me so hyped still, dude. I'm just like, this fool just slams the shit out of everybody, dude. Like, this fool picked up Andre the Giant, picked up Hulk Hogan. Fucking, he's one of the only people that like fucking legit like beat Hulk Hogan's ass. And then when he would get knocked out, this fool would just start fucking, he would be lay there for a while, and then he would just start fucking shaking and shaking, and then like as the crowd cheers, he just starts shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking. He's just like getting so hype, and he's just fucking flexing and going off and fucking just slamming fools left and right. He's just like running back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it's just like, where the fuck did this fool just get all this energy from? He was probably laying there like fucking sniffing lines and shit, but like I'll tell you, this is just the craziest shit ever, dude. Like, there's absolutely nothing tighter than that. Um,
Damn, dude.
bro, I'm telling you. No, it's on some other shit. So then, growing up, so then I'm looking, and then I'm growing up, and then the next person I gotta say that was like, this is kind of a weird way to put it, but this is just the way it was like, I remember I used to look up to my little brother so much, and I still do. But like, I remember he would have like he would be smart about stuff that I wasn't smart about, and he would to him it was just so natural. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, wow, like how did you think to say that? How'd you know to do that? Like, how did you know to ask that? You know? And I was just like, how the like what? Like, where'd you come from? Like, I don't get it. You know? And yeah, so it's just like always inspiring to me, you know? That's always one thing is like we can always learn from those younger than us. They teach us the best and the coolest lessons, like without a doubt. Um, so then growing up, I'm looking at it and my influence, like I said, influences always change all the time. Like, who are some of you guys? Is like, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Like I've got a lot. And as I'm going through this, I realize there's people I forgot or I left out or like I was hella obsessed with for a while and then just kind of or like forgot or couldn't think of it at the moment. But like uh so then I look at it um growing up is kind of changing, you know, but you can kind of see it's always like these like fighters or like warrior type people, you know. That was always my shit was like, oh yeah, like to me at the core of what I thought was cool was like always like warrior type stuff, you know? Like for example, when I was a kid, we used to like literally dress up as cowboys and Indians when we were kids in like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. And you literally put on a fucking paper bag and then you wear this like paper bag headband with these fucking fake feathers. And then other you could pick to be a pilgrim or an Indian, but I was always like, I'm gonna be a fucking Indian. I always want to be the Indian because like I thought they looked cool and they got the warrior fucking setup and all that. And I was like, yo, I can paint my face and this and that. And I was like, I remember when I walked to school in my fucking Indian outfit, hair costume or whatever. Like, it wasn't racist back then, by the way. Native Americans, sorry. But back then they called it Indian. Um, this is just real. I'm not even like being a dick. Like, this, I didn't make this up. um, so literally, it's like, oh, all right, who you're gonna dress as a cowboy or Indian, and they fucking bring corn and all this shit. It was, I mean, looking back, it was pretty fucking racist, but like, it was just like some old white people trying. You know, they were trying. Like, what do they know about fucking Native American history, you know, or culture? They just hear it like, oh, I don't know, like my parents were white and their parents were white, and we don't fucking know, you know. It's just like, um. No, so that warrior thing is always what kind of like keeps repeating to me and calling to me, and that what I is what I think is like the coolest shit ever to my core is like a warrior mindset or like I don't know that demeanor. I just think that's the coolest like thing, and so I started listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony, and to me that they represented like that. They had this like warrior like and like militant like sort of thing, but at the same time it was so smooth. And I'm just like, whoa, like this tied all my worlds together. Where it's like that creativity and that artfulness and that flowy and softness that I learned from like my mom, I'm like, whoa, it's kind of put into this like hardness that would essentially represent like my dad, you know? And I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy. And then they even got songs that's just like that go in and it's you know, and they're talking about they literally shit like, you know, walk like a warrior, warrior. And they're like dressed up, they got face paint on fucking Art of War, and it's like even when they're standing there thugged out on like creeping on a come up or East 99, it's like it's almost like militant, like warrior looking, and I'm like, damn, these fools look like modern day warriors, you know, like that was how I related to them, and that was how I related to myself, and that was how I always related to my idols. Was like there's always some sort of like warriorness or some sort of like absolute like beautifulness. Excuse me. And so that was like the first thing I realized. I'm like, whoa. So most specifically, Crazy Bone. First it was Lazy Bone, then Crazy Bone, and then even Busy too. I mean, they're all tight, but like those are my favorite, and most specifically Crazy Bone though. Like his art, what he does is just so beyond rap, and what he's done for music that people do not give him the credit for is like off the charts, dude. Like I'm telling you, Crazy Bone does not get the respect, the love the credit that he does. Like for whatever reason that him or Bone Thugs is left out of all the greatest rappers conversation of all time makes absolutely no sense. And I think that's because they did something that was greater than rap.
Damn, dude.
Yo. So you know what I'm saying? You got youngsters listening to Bone Thugs now. Like you got youngsters who people who are like teenagers now in 2021, and you can put on some shit that Bone made in like 94, 95, 96, 97, and people will be like, yo, what is this? Is it new? Like, what is this? And it's just like, bro, like, I'm telling you, they're just so far ahead of their time that they're even like so far ahead of the conversation. And I know for, one day, like, they're gonna get their props. And, people can't even fucking front, dude, because that I believe is one of the most revolutionary groups that we've had. But anyway, they influenced me like that, and Crazy Bone's fucking delivery, his persona, his fucking just like his warriorness, and he even talks like it like, oh, what was it? Oh, my alarm's going off. Like I just thought that was the coolest shit ever. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just that warrior shit like really really speaks to me. Not even like a soldier, but a fucking warrior. It's beyond that. So, yeah. We're gonna take a quick break here. We're gonna be right back.
Damn, dude.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to the Damn Dude Podcast.
California Cal.
That's me, your host. And yeah, dude. So like I was saying, Crazy Bone with that fucking warrior shit and this is like how real he was about it. Like you got some of the hardest rappers in the industry, not industry rappers, but some of the hardest rappers in the industry who are like, yo, if you listen to some of the stories that they tell about Bone Thugs, they're like, those fools are not fucking punks. They are real thugs. Like they are really, really with the shit. Like, don't fuck with them for real. Like, to me, it was like I hella related to that because I was angry. I related to gangsters and like, that was who I looked up to. And then my whole life, like in a very innocent way, I'm looking up to these people who were fucking warriors, And also in a very beautiful way too. Like Bruce Lee's a warrior in a very poetic sort of way. And that's funny. I can't I want to seriously be like, oh, Ultimate Warrior too. But I mean, it was wrestling. But it occurred to me like that when I was a little kid. So we'll leave that at that. But so then so then I looked up to just kind of like then I kind of didn't have any influences for a while. For a good while through my at about like roughly out of high school, I stopped looking up to anybody. I just didn't think anybody was cool. I know it's kind of weird to say, but like it was just true. I was always like, I don't know. I just want to do my own thing. And I look at it and oh, sorry, I'm playing with my timer. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, there's nobody I'm like looking up to at all. So then excuse me. I was just like lacking inspiration, lacking creativity, lacking motivation, and I'm just like feeling all fucking just stale in life, and like and I remember one day I was driving with the homie Skins and this is when Lil Wayne the Drought 3 mixtape came out. And the song that he covered from by CeeLo Green, the song Crazy, the one that Lil Wayne redid, when I first heard that version, it blew my mind. And like I look back and sometimes I'm like, man, this song's really not that tight. But then other times I look back and I'm in the right mood and I'm like, holy fuck, this blows my mind again. And it's just like he when he says in the hook, he's like, I stopped being lazy and I got creative. I'm not the musical talent, but um, oh yeah, who sings that song? Oh yeah, Lil Wayne. Yeah, I'll leave it to him. Um, and so I heard that song and I was like, what? Because I remember I didn't think Lil Wayne was very tight. He was actually one of my least favorite rappers of all time, and now he's one of my favorite of all time. Because if you listen to the Droughts and the Carters, okay, and you listen to fucking No Ceilings, oh my god, No Ceilings mixtape is absolutely ridiculously stupidly sick. I can't even tell you enough, dude. But and it's weird because there's a gang of different versions of it. So like, I had one on actual CD that I thought was the best version because several of them have different songs swapped out here and there. So it's kind of weird. But anyway, I heard that and then I started really listening to his music. And then first I had heard the first thing that kind of had me like, yo, Lil Wayne's kind of tight was when I heard Fireman. Fireman was like the first song where I was kind of like, okay, yeah, like that was pretty tight. Not to say that I didn't like Back That Ass Up and all those other things, but I wouldn't consider those like Lil Wayne songs. But then from the Lil Wayne album, I wasn't really a fan. Like that first one or two or whatever, I can't even remember. But I give him a try, and I just like, big rims, loud pipes, shouting. That's what I like. Like I wasn't a fan of that. Excuse me. But as soon as Fireman and Go DJ, those two songs. As soon as I heard those two, I was like, what? And then he said, and then he started, and then it was at that same time he was claiming he was the best rapper alive since the best rapper retired, which Jay-Z was claiming he was retired. And I personally do not think Jay-Z is the best rapper. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But, and no hate on him. It's just my, personal preference. It's all love. But I remember Lil Wayne said that and I was like, what? You suck. No way. And that was like my little hater mind thinking, because I'm sitting there just judging. And then like, I really look at it and I listen and I'm like, I had to listen to it in private too, because I know that the homies were going to clown on me too, because it's funny music. Uh, but it was cool. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, uh, fuck, I liked a good majority of this CD. Like, damn. And then the mixtapes came, and then the Carters came, and then everything. And I was just like, what the fuck? And then all the work around, like, what was I gonna say? Oh, like, around with all the DJ Khaled songs, like with, Jeezy and who else was on those songs? Like Rick Ross and Plies and T-Pain and Akon and all those random ass people. Like it was those songs, they were sick, dude. And even like Birdman, that fool is not a Thai rapper, but like even those some of those songs with him were kind of cool too. And and like Big Timers, they had some good songs. I fucking love me some Big Timers, dude. Um, but Birdman on his own as a rapper, I can't do. But Big Timers songs with him in him, I could do that. That's just tight. So then I started listening to what Lil Wayne was saying. Oh, sorry. Before that, I'm kind of listening. I'm like, okay, this sounds cool. I kind of fuck with this. And then time goes by, and then uh, I'm like listening. I'm just like, damn, I'm a fucking fan now. So the creativity of what was going into it just blew my mind, dude. Like to really catch some of the shit that he's saying is absolutely absurd and like way next level. Like it sounds stupid if you're just trying to interpret it as A B C D E F G, but he's rapping like if this were a race to get to the alphabet, he's not. It's like he's doing it in a way where going A C, G M P Q. It was like he's just like if that it wasn't even if he was doing that in a legal way where it wasn't considered cheating, like that's what he was doing. And I remember I read in this magazine when I was at work one time. It was this interview of him in the I don't remember what magazine, but one of those rap magazines, and where he's just in the Moon Man outfit, and they asked him like, why do you now claim you're the best rapper alive? And he's like, well, because I am. And he's like, and they're like, well, why? He's like, well, because I figured out how to say more in the same amount of time than everybody else. Like, what? Like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I learned that if I remove all connecting words, because in other languages, they don't have connecting words. So they can say more words in one bar, one sentence than we can. So it's like they're having way more in depth conversations than we are. And then it's kind of like, whoa, what the fuck? So if you listen, it's like he really did eliminate all these connecting words out of his raps and his flows. And it just kind of, and he'll say like a word rather than an entire phrase. Like he's able to change and take something that's a phrase, that's a whole phrase, and just encapsulate it in one word and add multiple of those chains together to where you've now got some fucking crazy ass lyrics that sound like nonsense, but when you dive into it, it's like, holy shit. Like one of my favorite ones, let me see if I can say this without butchering it. He says, man, what does he say? Oh, he says, okay, you're gonna have to follow me on this, and I'll go back and explain it. He says, I pull up with no roof. That's because I walk the dog and pet it.
Damn, dude.
Did you catch that? I'll say it again. I pull up with no roof because I walk the dog and pet it.
Damn, dude.
One more time. I pull up with no roof because I walk the dog and pet it.
Damn, dude.
You need me to explain it for you? See, maybe if you listen a little bit faster, I ain't gotta speed up. I ain't gotta slow down for your bitch ass to keep up. So, what that is I pull up with no roof. A dog says roof, roof, but he's talking about he's stunned on us. I pull up with no roof, as in I have no ceiling on my car. I pull up with no roof because I walk the dog and pet it. And when you walk the dog and you pet it, it doesn't bark. So no roof because he walks the dog and pets it.
Damn, dude.
Crazy, right? That's hella crazy. You cannot tell me that that's not cool. You can hate him as a rapper all you want, but you cannot tell me that that's not pretty fucking creative and genius to some major degree. Like, real shit, dude. So then I see this fool start skateboarding. I'm like, yo, I fucking love skating. And that leads me to some of my other next big influences, which would be, I would say, a combination of Willie Santos and Rob Dyrdek, the skateboarders. Willie Santos from Mirror Mesa, from Willie's Workshop, from PQ, all that shit. You already know, having his shoes in the store Epic in Mirror Mesa, in the Mirror Mesa Mall there, or not even Mirror Mesa Mall, but like in the Rite Aid shopping center. Like some OG shit, like buy a skateboard, get a free haircut type shit.
Damn, dude.
For real. I might actually still have that flyer somewhere. I gotta send that to him if I do, because he's actually somewhat accessible online, which is cool. So him and Rob Dyrdek. So like, I remember one time Willie pulled up on me and my homie when we were skating at Erickson at the school. We were in the school and we just hopped the fence out of the school and we were skating and we're kind of running because we think we heard cops. And I remember Willie Santos, he's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And we're like, oh, we just got done skating. Like, he's like, oh, you guys want to see my shoe? And we are like, yeah, hell yeah. And they weren't even out yet, but it was his first pro model shoe that he had. And he had like 3 different colors of them. And he pulled over and he's like, check it out. And he's showing us some. And we're like, whoa. And I was like, wait, aren't you Willie Santos? He's like, yeah, man. We're like, what? Oh, we're like freaking the fuck out. And I remember he gave us like flyers and this and that, whatever. And we're just like, yo, shook his hand, gave him that, whatever. And we're just like, yo, that was fucking cool, man. So he's just like a local celebrity and local hero to us. And he was in video games and shit later on and stuff. So it was like, hell yeah. And he's in all the magazines and videos, all of it, if you're from the skate era, you really, really know, and then I'm looking at Rob Dyrdek, and it's funny because I wasn't really he wasn't, I had heard of him and stuff, but he wasn't huge on my radar as like, oh, he's one of my favorite skaters. But his personality and the fact that he's a skater is kind of what made me be like, yo, this fool's sick as fuck. And how much he's himself. And like how much if he's gonna do something, he 100% goes into it and does it. And then it's like, I fucking love and respect that. And it's like, he knows how to play as a kid. And to me, I think that's the most important shit, dude. Like when we could do that, that's that shit, dude. Man. So, but then with Rob Dyrdek, his business mind, holy shit, dude, that guy's a genius, man. Um, Rob Dyrdek is certainly a genius in his own right. Um, if you really listen and you watch and you observe and you see what he does, like when you look back on his history, Rob Dyrdek is a fucking G, dude, straight G. It's my dream to meet him and work with him, and I feel like we would vibe real tight. um, and then looking up, and then there was also obviously like all the kids around the neighborhood and shit, but this is kind of like the stuff that was like, I guess my choice, kind of. It's like, well, like I'm choosing to look up to these people on my own terms rather than like you just put it in my face and then now I'm like, oh, I see this now. Like all these things I was wanting to watch on my own terms. So, uh, so time goes by and I'm like, and then the next person to like really, really, then I looked up to a bunch of like motocross racers and stuff for a long time and freestylists. They were like who I thought was cool, um, and I was always like trying to like be a fan of or like somebody or something, but I just never really happened. And it took a long time. So I'm just like, well, nobody really speaks to me on this, in a big way. And then the next person to really be able to like speak to me that had me like, holy shit, this guy inspires me was Pimp C. Rest in peace, Pimp C. This world we living in, man, it ain't nothing but drama. That's Bun B technically, but Bun B, Pimp C. I would love to do an interview with Bun B, so shout out Bun. And like I said, much love, Pimp. Pimp C, Chad Butler, he was a motherfucker that spoke the truth. And that was one thing that I admired and I loved so much. And you go back and you look at the Pimp Chronicles and you look at his lyrics, and I mean, yeah, he got a lot of raunchy stuff, but at the same time, if you look at like legitimate, like his real words, holy fuck, dude. Man.
Damn, dude.
This fool's on some other shit, dude. Like, he was telling the truth, like, and he was spitting game and he was spitting facts, and he was one of those people that, like, he didn't really care or mind if he hurt your feelings if it meant that he was really telling you the truth about some shit. You know what I mean? So to me, that helped me that learn to like speak up and want to like fucking talk, and like, wow, okay, cool. Like, holy shit, my voice does matter. And if I do say these things, it does make a difference. And again, as somebody who didn't talk for a long time and somebody whose biggest like bullshit story I have internally is that like my voice doesn't matter and what I have to say doesn't matter. And yeah, it's a trip, dude. So now I'm fucking talking on the mic like full time almost. And well, I mean, yeah, full time. I'm doing this on a professional rate and level, like, and I'm keeping pace with all the other big dogs. And I literally just set my schedule to match theirs. And I'm just like, yo, I'm just gonna fucking pace you, bro. Like, oh, damn it, some sort of little thingamadoo flew in the room somehow. Some kind of bug. Damn it. I don't know if it was a moth or mosquito. Anyway, yeah, I set myself, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just pace the big dogs. So the people who are biggest in the game, I'm pacing you guys and I'm on your shoulders, I'm on your tail, like, and I'm going neck and neck with you, and I'm going fucking toe for toe with you. I'm really doing this. Like I said, I'm set pace with you guys' schedule, and we're rocking, bro. Every fucking Monday and Thursday at noon, let's go. You'll see all of them, including me, download into your fucking podcasts or your app or whatever every time we hit this. And to me, oh my gosh, every time I open my apps to listen to a podcast and I'm trying to listen to somebody else's podcast, mine, new download, new download. And I'm just like, oh shit, like this is so sick. Like, I can't believe I'm seeing my face next to David Meltzer. I can't believe I'm seeing my face next to Ben Baller. I can't believe I'm seeing my face next to Brad Lee. Like, I'm like, bro, this is fucking sick. Like, this goes hard. So then, like, excuse me. So then, moving forward, so Pimp C really inspired me. And then, uh, and then people like Jeremy McGrath, like, James Bubba Stewart, they were always inspiring me. Ricky Carmichael, bikers, skaters, Dave Mira, rest in peace, Matt Hoffman for sure. And of course, the old school guys, Bob Harrow and uh, Gary Turner, And anyway, um, so yeah, they were, stuff like that was always influenced. But then moving ahead as I grew older, my newest influences that I just keep in my ear all the time is David Meltzer, Brad Lee, and Ben Baller.
Damn, dude.
Shout out Ben Baller. That's his voice actually. And I keep messaging Brad Lee like I'm on your tail, and trying to stay in touch with his team so they know who I am, so we can get him on episode 100. Bradley's the fucking man. I think him and I would be cool ass friends if we got the chance to really chop it up. So he's the real Bradley because he keeps it real. And like I said, as far as real ass shows, I'm on your tail, Brad. I'm on your tail. I'm coming for you. I'm just fucking around. But no, really. And then Ben Baller, he keeps it real as fuck. He talks his shit. And I got a feeling I'm gonna link with him one day. I don't know why or when or how. I just got a feeling it'll happen. I want him to hear about me. I don't want to go bug him. I don't want to go do none of that shit if I don't have anything of value to offer him or to bring forth, and that's my same thing with David Meltzer and Brad Lee. I'm kind of jumping on Bradley's tail for this because he claimed he will do 100th episodes for people. So I'm like, that's just been a bucket list thing for me. As soon as I heard him say that, before I even had a podcast, I'm like, I want to do somehow, I don't know what it is. Well, I sounded like the movie guy. Oh, somehow in 19 or in a land far, far away. Anyway, and shout out to him. I think he's the blind surfer. That guy's cool as fuck. I follow him on Instagram. Yeah, he's blind and he does the voices and he fucking surfs and fucking shreds and he does all this cool shit. That guy's dope. I would love to link up with him too. Anyway, and then David Meltzer too. I've met him a few times and I feel like I've heard people ask him so many different questions that I'm waiting for the right questions to come to me that I can ask him to where it makes it his best interview he's ever done. And that's my idea. That's my deal for everybody I interview. But these people are highly seasoned people who do interviews and have been interviewed. So David Meltzer, he's just so fucking intelligent, so like to the core, like how simply he understands all these crazy complex things is just completely out of control. And he'll send you his book for free, dude. And he's got like best-selling books and shit. The movie Jerry Maguire was based off of like his work with Lee Steinberg or Steinbrenner. I always forget the name. But anyway, yeah, he's the man, dude. He's one of the first like non-rapper type people or extreme athletes that I was like, I want to be like that guy. The way that he's successful, because he just loves his life and he's just so happy and it's like so genuine and authentic and it's fucking epic. And then and Brad Lee, like I said, he's just one of the realest motherfuckers, and the way he keeps it real and his insight is ridiculous. Oh hell no, there's a fucking big flying mofo. Yeah, damn it, man. Oh, I hate bugs, dude. Oh, you come here and get whacked with this damn shoe, buddy. He's on the wall. All right, hold on. Oh, I'm gonna go full fucking bounty. Ah! I think I got. Shit. Damn it, he fell behind the fucking. I whacked it, and he fell behind the sofa. Oh man, I have to go pick him up in a little bit. That was disgusting. Um, Jeez. Okay, well, yeah. Just so you know, bugs, I don't do bugs, dude. I love you, little mosquito. I'm sorry. This is my space, and I'm sorry, bro. This is yeah, man. Oh wow, this show's pretty interesting, man. So where was I going? Oh, so then with Ben Baller, that fool, he's so funny, dude. He talks his shit, and he's such a historical person. Like the shit that he's done and accomplished, and why he's the Forrest Gump of hip hop is absolutely insane, insane, dude. Like he's just on some other shit, but at the same time, the way his come up and what he does and what he's about is so relatable to me. Like growing up with the gang culture, Southern California, um, being into motorcycles, being into rap, all that, and coming from an Asian town and all that, it's like, yo, like I hella relate to this and feel this, um, and then the way he talk, I don't know, for sure, I do not agree with a lot of, not a lot, but some of the stuff he says or is about, but at the same time, I fuck with a lot of the stuff he says and is about. So, he just keeps it fucking real, and I love that. That's one thing that I admire and I look up to is like people who just keep it real as fuck, and that's really one thing I hope that if I inspire anybody or anybody's inspired by this, I hope that you really take how real this is, and it really does something for you. I want it to be like a lasting inspiration for you. So, yeah, man. Um, and then really my really, really biggest heroes and idols and inspiration is last and not least my kids, my babies, Nate and Royal. Oh my goodness, I love you guys so much, dude. Um, they're my heroes, man. I learned so much from them. Like, if you can learn how to learn from a baby, there's so much to learn.
Damn, dude.
That sounded like some Dr. Seuss type of stuff, huh? Oh, not a happy baby there. Do you? My baby Royal and my little man Rooster Tail. If you caught that, you caught that. And you know what I'm saying? Nate and Royal, I love you guys so much. They're my biggest influences for sure. How happy they are, how free they are. I know it's so cliche, my kids are my influence, but that's some real shit, dude. And it's like, it's interesting because I feel like it took a while for that to kick in for me. Like, things are kind of, I don't know, but it's really true. It's like when I look at all my values, all my everything, if my last and final thoughts is always my kids, um, at the end of everything, or even it, I mean, I guess I can put that into any context. I should say the first and the last ththings that I think about. Like if I go spend money, like my kids cross through my head first. If I'm gonna go do something crazy, if I'm gonna go do a wheelie or go surfing, big surf, or go surf, or go do something kind of dangerous or something, then they're also one of the first and last thoughts. It's like, oh yeah, remember them, like don't be stupid. So yeah, man. So who inspires you? Who do you look up to? Should we interview them? And if there's anybody, let me know. Let us know on Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star written review with any questions or comments, and we'll read it on the show or not, or if you don't want me to. But just give us a holler there and a review. It helps the show a lot. And we really appreciate that, because why the fuck not? Show some love. That's what we're trying to do. So on that note, remember, Say three things you're grateful for every morning, every night, and you will see your life just fucking change for the better. So, what are you grateful for? On that note, I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Rooster Tail, take us out, my man.
90 miles push away, and I wanna be